Hey girl, welcome to the Feminine Founder Podcast, where we are all about learning and growing professionally so that we can build a life that we are proud of and really love. My name is Caroline, and I'm a LinkedIn expert, obsessed with teaching female entrepreneurs how to start, grow, and scale their personal brand and business on LinkedIn. This podcast is all about sharing our stories and learning from each other on how to navigate our professional journey so that we can live our best lives. So if you are just starting your entrepreneurial journey or you're growing and scaling an epic company, you're in the right place, friend. Today, I have Nicole McLellan with me. Nicole is the co-founder of My Aligned Purpose, which you can find on Instagram. She's also the podcast host of My Aligned Purpose podcast. And get ready and buckle up for today's fun-filled conversation where we talk all things business and energetic alignment. Welcome, Nicole.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
So just a little backstory here for those of you listening. Nicole and I actually met in real life at the Powerhouse Women event this past August of 2024. And since then, I've kept in touch and now are doing podcast swaps and I'm speaking to her community. And I just love the friendship and fellowship that we have created here just from that one event at the lunch table.
I know, it's so good.
So tell me about your former teacher turned entrepreneur. I want to hear your story and about where you are now and how did you get there?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different lengths I could tell this story, but the one that I'll choose today is that it was pretty easy for me. I was social. I didn't really have to try too hard. It was fun for me. And so naturally, because it was just kind of easy for me, my teachers were all encouraging me when I got to grade 11, grade 12, are you going to go into medicine or law, teaching, like go do something with your life. And I didn't actually want any of that. All I could think about was when I was 14 and I went to go see The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio at the movie theater. And I had never been on an airplane at that point by the time I was 14. And my eyes were opened up to Thailand and Southeast Asia and this like whole other world that I didn't know existed. And I got fixated on that from like the age of 14 to I want to travel. How am I going to make this happen? I didn't grow up in a family where we traveled on airplanes. And so there wasn't really pressure from my parents, but definitely pressure from my teachers. And I wouldn't say pressure from my friends, but all of my friends were also going to university. So I thought, well, I guess I'll just do what I'm supposed to do and what everybody's doing. So I go to university, I get a Bachelor of Arts degree, I graduate at 22. I am now no more like hireable and just in a lot of debt. And so at 22 with my Bachelor of Arts and a lot of debt, a bunch of girlfriends and I moved to I'm Canadian. We moved to the Rocky Mountains. A lot of people know Banff. We moved to that area, had never been there before. And we all got waitressing / bartending jobs. And I met so many nomadic people who had been moving there to snowboard and ski. And so again, my eyes were opened up to like, oh, people just travel around the world and do things that they want to do and live the life they want to live. And I did that for a few years. I really started to travel around and met so many incredible people. And then by the time I was about 24, 25, I had a freak out moment of, oh no, a lot of my friends are like starting to settle down and with their serious big girl jobs and have babies and get married. And is something wrong with me? Why don't I feel like I want that? And so I pushed against my own intuition. And I thought, well, I should really go back to school and get a job, like a real job, not a waitressing job. And I don't mean that, but that was the mentality that I had then. Like that wasn't a real job. So I went back to university for another 2 years and got my Bachelor of Education degree. And I graduated at 27. And I thought, this is it. I'm supposed to feel like I have made it. I got a teaching job right away. I moved up northern Canada. That's kind of where you have to go to get the teaching jobs. And so I had isolation pay. I had benefits. I had an incredible pension, my own classroom. And I felt so unfulfilled. I spent 3 years living in a northern isolated community, 8 hours from an airport. Like I'm talking how north I was, away from everything and everyone to live out this dream that was supposed to make me feel satisfied. And for my 30th birthday, I met up with my sister in Vegas, and we were around the pool. And she said, I love you, and I can tell you're not happy. And what if you just took a year off teaching? And that had never occurred to me. I thought once you got the job, you have to stay there till you're 65. It had never occurred to me truly that I could take a year off. And so we chatted about it the whole weekend. What would that look like? I had a girlfriend who married an Australian guy that she met when we lived in Banff. And she said, you could go visit your friend in Australia and maybe just take a year to yourself. And so at 30, that's what I did the following fall. Actually, it will be of 8 years tomorrow. I went on the date in October. And so I get to Australia. I have my year off. I see people working on laptops in coffee shops everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks so fun. I don't know what they're doing. Surely I can figure this out. I taught a lot of yoga. I waitressed. I did all of those things. And I started dating a coach, and I had never heard of coaches outside of sports. I was really in my teacher bubble. And so I was like, what do you mean you're a coach? And he would ask me all these fascinating questions that nobody had ever asked me, especially somebody I had dated. And he's like, well, this is my work. And I thought, that's what I'm meant to do. I am meant to support people to move forward with their goals and ambitions through powerful question asking and powerful listening. And so it was a long journey from 2017 to 2020, 3 years of trying and failing and so many ups and downs and not really knowing what I was doing. And then in 2020, my business partner, Kayla, and I met through another coach who hired us both to be associate coaches for her. And she was giving us clients as long as we were facilitating coaching under her brand. But every Monday, Kayla and I would meet, and I would coach Kayla on her little side business she wanted to build. And she'd coach me on my little side business I want to build, which was manifesting and mindset coaching. And then in May of 2020, after, the world had shut down, this woman who we worked for came to us and said, I'm sorry, I can't guarantee you to work anymore. You're going to have to go figure this out on your own. And that was the biggest blessing in disguise, because Kayla and I are ambitious and we're hardworking, and we had no plan B. And we were like, all right, let's do this. So we took our two passions and combined them together. Mine is in mindset and NLP and reprogramming of the mind. And Kayla's is with women building wealth, whether that's through market investing, real estate investing, or investing in your business. And we created a course together, and that was the beginning. And it just completely took off. And I never went back to teaching, and I never will. I am a teacher. I love teaching. I teach within our business, but I will never go back to working for someone else under their schedule, their rules, and especially the politics. And so I'm so incredibly grateful and fulfilled that I'm getting to do the work that I get to do now.
I love that story. And I love that you met that coach in Australia, because I'm with you. I mean, I have an online business now too, and I had no clue about any of it. I was like you. I was an executive recruiter. The cocktail parties, it sounded great. I was negotiating, 6, 7, 8-figure salaries for these professionals, jet time, you name it. But I was so unfulfilled and unhappy. And the online space has taken me a couple of years to actually figure it out too. So tell us, as you've grown My Aligned Purpose with Kayla, what have been some pillars that have really worked well for you?
Something that has really worked well for us, and we've said it from day one, and we'll continue to say it now that we're 5 years into this business, we're in our 5th year, is we are ourselves. We are two everyday, quote, normal, average women. And we don't get caught up or consumed in what is happening on the interwebs, what everybody's posting. I'm all for everybody doing what feels authentic and in integrity to them. And big, flashy, showy things are not us. And we really I think the reason we are so successful is because we relate to so many women who are like us that Kayla's a mom of two. She had her two kids in the last 4 years. It's her daughter's second birthday tomorrow. So, she's a mom of two. I'm a dog mom, and I like nature and going out for walks, and we enjoy family time and friendship. And we also enjoy making a lot of money and having a lot of fun and doing a lot of good in the world. But we don't try and do it like anybody else. We're just like, okay, we want to be truthful. We don't want to make up false numbers or paint a vision for people that is unrealistic. And so I think that has been one pillar that has worked really well for us, is staying true to who we are and being authentic. And another thing is, we're so complementary to one another, where I am really huge visionary. Like, I can see past outer space and back of what I could do. And while Kayla is also a visionary, she's incredibly grounded and knows systems and strategy better than anyone I've ever met. And so we get to come together in the way that we support women. I think a lot of women in business are they think they're looking for one or the other. They're like, no, I've got the mindset, I need strategy. Or women will come to us and say, I've got the launches and the funnels and I've got everything in place, but it's not working. And I'm like, it's your mindset. And so we get to come together as this like super team and support women with both. Whatever you're needing, we have those and can provide them. And those have worked really well for us.
I love that, because I'm with you. I'm not here for that flashy internet, sports cars, numbers, 7, 8 figures, whatever you're flashing around. Like, I don't really know if you're backing that up or not. Like, I gravitate towards authentic too. So I'm with you, and I can see why that would definitely work really well, especially in today's internet land.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, we are a 7-figure company, and we want to continue to reach to make more so we can do more and have more resources and opportunities. But it doesn't need to be showy or flashy. We can earn the money and have fun. And, but it doesn't need to be. I think the thing that we talk about and that a lot of our clients come to us with is, we talk about the results we get our clients. We're not sitting around talking about how much money we've made every month. Like, oh yeah, I made $5 million in one day sitting around doing nothing. We don't do that. If our client made $5 million sitting around doing nothing, that wouldn't happen, because you can't sit around and do nothing. But if our client did that, we would talk about their results. But we're not sitting around talking about our bank accounts all day.
I love that. So one thing that you talk a lot about is energetic alignment. And I want to talk to you more about what that means when we're talking about specifically attracting clients into our business, no matter if it's a product-based business or a service-based business. Can you unpack that further and give me your opinion on that?
Yeah, for sure. So, our company is called My Aligned Purpose. Alignment is really big for us. And the way that I've always said that I approach my definition of alignment is, I'm really passionate about what people in the Eastern society might term the chakra system, the Vedic chakra system. In Western society, in Western medicine, it's your endocrine system, it's your glands, it's your hormones, and we can marry the two. And I'm really passionate about, I think that when we have our 7 energetic centers in alignment, so the first one being you're rooted, you're stable, you feel grounded, then when that's balance, you move into having a sense of creativity. So if you can tap into your creativity, then from there, tap into, do I feel confident about the work I'm doing? Then we move into our heart. How into this is my heart? Moving up into our throat. Am I using my voice? Am I speaking the truth? Third eye, intuition. Like, am I following my intuition? Intuitively, does this feel like the next best step? And then lastly, like, connecting to something bigger than us. Some people call it God, creator, source, universe, mother nature, whatever it is, but trusting that you're not just having to figure this all out on your own. And so I believe that when women, that's who we speak to, when women, business owners, take the time every day to seriously prioritize their energy and get it into alignment, they will automatically be magnetic. And being magnetic is when you are so yourself and people are coming to you and they're curious about you and the work that you do, rather than feeling like, I have to put an hour in of like striving or gripping or controlling how I'm going to find clients today. That doesn't feel good, and it's not magnetic, and it's actually kind of repulsive. So we support our women to do a lot of mindset and energetic work alongside of the strategy so that they feel like it's fun and that their magnet is dialed. And once women really get a grasp of this or understand it, they can all tell when their magnet is on or off. They're like, oh, I'm like really in a hole and I know I'm here and I need to get out of it because I am not attracting people, places, experiences, things, clients, anything. And I'm going to take responsibility for that.
Let's take a quick break.
Did you know that I'm hosting a free webinar on September 10th on how to start, grow, and scale your business and personal brand on LinkedIn? If you are curious about growing your business or your personal brand on LinkedIn, this is for you. LinkedIn is no longer a place for job seekers and companies hiring. It's a full-blown professional networking site. If you have a service-based business, your clients are most definitely hanging out on LinkedIn. Or if you have a product-based business, your customers are also on LinkedIn. So come join me Tuesday, September 10th at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. This will be a free 30-minute webinar on Zoom, and I can't wait to see you there. Have questions? Send me a DM. Link to register on my website and click the webinar tab.
Ooh, that was so good because I agree with you 1,000,000%. And also, I'm big on LinkedIn, obviously. And I market the exact same way that what you're talking about. I don't ever go out and try to spam people or try to get them to do business with me. I would rather just put myself out there with my content and let them come to me or let the leads come to me.
Yes, exactly. It feels so much better. You know, like this is where we have a year-long program called Aligned CEO Method, and we have over 40 people in that right now. And we will have people come to us who are like, I'm following all the rules. I'm such a rule follower. I'm setting everything up. My back end is polished. I've got the branding, the logo, the launch is ready to go. Why aren't people coming to me? I'm like, because of your energy. I can tell right now you are trying to control the outcome so badly. That's not magnetic. People don't want to work with you because you need to pay your bills. People want to work with you because you are giving off this magnetic energy and you feel so confident about the thing that you've created that's going to help them. That's where I say it actually doesn't matter what you're selling. If you can sell whatever it is that you're selling with confidence, people buy into that. And then of course we sell something that supports people and provides a transformation. But yeah, if you are approaching your business with the energy of like, I've got bills to pay, ew, people feel that. And it doesn't matter what you're saying, they feel it and they're not going to work with you.
Oh my gosh, I literally agree with you 1,000,000%. And I feel like people can smell it too, like on the internet, whether or not they're reading with you or you're putting stuff out there and your content is ick. The people that you're trying to attract are actually being repelled. So getting that energetic alignment in a good place is crucial.
Yeah.
So one game changer for me in my entrepreneurial journey has been investing in myself and actually getting in the room. And it sounds like one of your programs is about getting in the room. And I met you in the room at Powerhouse Women. So what are your thoughts on investing in yourself? How important is it as an entrepreneur?
Well, on the day that we're recording this, myself and Kayla put out an episode on our podcast every Thursday, and the segment is called Biz Besties. And in today's episode, we're talking about life upgrades and how when you invest in yourself, it doesn't matter if you invest in yourself by, I just got the new Peloton treadmill and I'm so happy about it. I had the bike, it wasn't doing it for me. It doesn't matter if you invest in yourself with a new treadmill or a hand cream that feels really good on your hands or a $20,000 coaching program. when you do something that you've attached a story to, because everything in our head is about the stories we tell ourselves and the belief system we're creating. When you invest in yourself with the story or the belief system that this is only going to expand you or allow you to do more, see more, be more, then you're going to reap the benefits from that investment. But there are people out there who, I've invested in myself, but the whole time they have that icky narrative of like, you owe me something now because I've invested in you. And that expectation, and again, that belief of I've put money out and now it's never going to come back. I think there's a lot of people who have money stories that need to be worked on, because you can invest in yourself all the live long day. But if you don't believe that it's actually an investment, you think it's a cost, then that's where people get really tripped up. So I do believe investing in yourself with the belief system that you're investing in yourself and it's only going to better you is there's nothing comparable to it. Every single time I've hired a new coach or went to an event or signed up to the fitness class or whatever it might be with the belief of this is only going to make me feel more energized, more successful, whatever, then of course I feel that way. But anytime somebody approaches something like that, but they've got a little subconscious belief going of like, oh no, I shouldn't have spent that money, that's going to be the outcome.
Can you overcome that voice?
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I used to have those voices a lot louder than I do now. I believe that we have all those voices happening in our head. I think that we've got the little, in traditional coach training, or my coach training at least, we talk about the voices in our head and the saboteur. And so personifying that saboteur, mine is Mrs. Trunchbull. When I feel like I'm really stepping into my CEO vibes, there can be that little voice that's like, don't be too bossy. Don't tell everybody what to do. And that's just, again, a societal narrative of like women stepping up and using their voice and being in power and that it's not okay. So I have to quiet that voice down, but I have to also remember I have other voices in my head. I have cheerleaders in my head. I have people who are championing me in my head. And when you remember that we all have various voices or stories in our head, but it's up to you to believe that and then turn the dial up or down on those voices or switch out the stories. And that's what NLP is. I am an NLP practitioner, neuro-linguistic programming. It is all about every word that you say is attached to an image and how you can even just start to rearrange the sentences so that your subconscious mind is seeing a Rolodex of images that support a good feeling before a negative feeling first.
Do you suggest starting your day with visualization, manifestation, writing down affirmations to yourself? I mean, what if someone's listening to this podcast and like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't have a lot of time?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's a interesting story that you're telling yourself that you don't have a lot of time. It's like, well, do you want to make more time? Like, do you really want this? Is there anywhere you can swap out 5 minutes? I'm a big believer that it only takes 5 minutes and you don't have to do anything. It can be 5 minutes of silence. I often will tell clients that I think a lot of people walk around and say this is their line to God or universe or whatever, like praying, I want this to happen, let this launch go well, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, you've picked up the phone. You're like, hello, are you going to make it happen? But when are you listening? You have to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes to sit down and say, okay, what action would I take if that's the thing I want? And not look on social media and compare to what other people are doing to take action, and not turn to ChatGPT. You don't even need to journal it out. Just be silent for 5 minutes. And I get that that's incredibly uncomfortable for a lot of people because we've been taught to hustle, 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 go, go, go. And sitting in silence is a waste of time. And I guarantee you it will be the best investment in yourself when you start to take 5, 10, 20 minutes a day for yourself to sit in silence, to hear the answers to the questions that you've asked.
Yeah, I've started doing manifestation and meditating, whatever you want to call it, for 5 minutes every single morning. And it has been a game changer for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. I did my yoga teacher training back in 2012. So I guess 12 years ago now, 13 years ago. And that was my first real introduction to meditation, silence, prayer, whatever label you want to give it. And it changed my life. I walked away from my yoga teacher training. I took it at the time so that I could teach yoga in high school because Yoga 11 is part of the curriculum. And I thought, oh, what will make me more employable? Surely if I get this extra training, it might help. I had no intention of teaching yoga. And then I went on to host yoga retreats all around the world and offer it. And the mindset side of yoga training is what I infuse into our work. But I walked away from that training telling everybody I love, my mom, sister, everybody, I wish everybody had the opportunity to do their yoga teacher training, even if you never practice yoga or never want to teach it, because what it will do for your self-awareness and how you see yourself in this spinning world, in the universe, it will completely change the way you view everything.
So what is lighting you up with some clients that you're working with right now?
That's a fun question. Like what clients are up to that's lighting me up?
If there's something specifically in this market, or you had a client have a really great win, or I would just love to hear about all the things.
Yeah. Okay. So as I mentioned, we have about 43 people in our program right now. All except one are women, and the one man that we have is a psychic intuitive medium. And so he's very welcome in the crew. And some things that are lighting me up about our clients is Kayla and I really crafted our program going into 3 years ago to support women to move from one-to-one to one-to-many, as that's what we were experiencing ourselves. We had like 50 plus one-to-one coaching clients. We were stuck on Zoom all day. It didn't feel freeing. So we turned the ship and created a group coaching program. And that's what we support women to do now. And we work with a lot of like counselors, doctors, naturopaths, RMTs, healers, people that see their clients one-to-one, either in person or on Zoom, and they want to have more clients and make more money and have more impact, but they don't really know how. And so getting to see these doctors and counselors and RMTs and all these people like be able to create an extra, very lucrative stream of income online while still going to the clinic or supporting people in person. So that's really cool, especially for people that are like, this won't work for me. I'm like, listen, you're not that special. It's going to work for everybody. And another thing too is we've got clients we have a client who she just did her TED Talk in the spring, and Kayla and I went out and watched her in person, which was so fun. And then she's been getting so many speaking engagements since her TED Talk, and having clients getting to the top of podcast charts, writing best-selling books, like just up to really cool stuff. And we're able to witness that and support that. So that feels really fun.
I love that. So as we wrap up, how can our listeners find you?
Yeah, it's really simple. It's My Aligned Purpose everywhere. So myalignedpurpose.com is our website, My Aligned Purpose Instagram, My Aligned Purpose on Facebook. Our podcast is My Aligned Purpose Podcast. And so if you just search that, if you have any questions at all, we're there. And if you also want to find out how you can move from one-to-one to one-to-many, you can go to myalignedpurpose.com/quiz. We have a quiz that supports you to find out what will best suit you, if it's courses or memberships or a group program, and then how you can get started on that.
Thanks, Nicole.
Thanks, Carolyn. This was awesome.
It's that time of year again. Summertime is in full swing. I don't know if you're like me, but your girl hates drinking a warm beverage. That's why I created Chilled Vino. Chilled Vino is my patented drinkware product, designed with innovative cooling technology to keep your wine or cocktail cold. With a long stem and elegant feel, you can enjoy your wine or cocktails outdoors. Chilled Vino is shatterproof and resembles a wine glass made of BPA-free plastic. You place it in the freezer 4 hours prior to using and remove, and voila, it'll keep your wine cold for hours. You can find it at www.chilledvino.com or on Amazon.